I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Farmers.
And the child shall lead them. I don't know why I keep saying that every time. Farmers, Sarah says, and the child will lead them. Okay, this is for the big homie. Bambi.
Yep.
This is cattle decapitation. Whew. I've only seen one cattle decapitation video my entire life.
He said he didn't think that we got a good intro to it, so he felt like this one might be better for us.
Should be interesting.
Yep.
There we go, folks. Cattle decapitation. I'm gonna get these lyrics because I feel like I'm gonna have to really
focus to be able to get it.
These are the animals' rights people, right?
I thought they were the ones that did that.
Forced gender reassignment.
Yeah.
That was so terrible. Oh my god, it's such a terrible video.
Right, well, that's why Bambi's saying maybe we should try something new.
What's the name of the song again?
Sorry, here it is.
Unerasable
Past.
Unerasable Past. So here we go. It's the official video, guys, so it might get blocked.
But this is what he requested.
If it does get blocked, never you fail! Because we'll find some alternative for you. Although, one of the reasons we're streaming from Facebook right now is because we can't stream from YouTube because YouTube has suspended our live streaming privileges because we played a thing out in full and got in trouble for it. The sacrifices that we make for you beautiful people, you'll never know. You'll never know. All right, here's cattle decapitation. I'm very interested in watching this, so here we go. I hope we don't die. Let's do it.
had an enormous operation and policy program to revolutionize agriculture and repair the Earth's ecosystems is immediately needed.
Holy moly.
Wow, Bambi.
Whoa. Okay,
That was really good.
So that was 2 songs. That was...
Yeah.
Was it Death Atlas?
Yeah, it was... Here we go. Right here. We've got...
Was right there. Unerasable Past.
And
it
Death
bleeds
Atlas.
right into Death Atlas.
We'll let it slide. You've been very patient.
Yeah. No. I mean...
This was...
Yeah, you have to listen to both of those together.
That guy sounded like Peter Steele, right?
At the end, especially.
And at the beginning, when it was the first one, the Unerasable Past.
Yeah. It definitely. I'm pretty sure that's what he was gunning for sure.
Well, he captured it very well.
Holy man! So, shout out to the Underground Metal
So many
Elitist.
different ways.
The Underground Metal
I was
Elitist
thinking about that.
Is the guy that introduced us to?
Yeah, but he deleted that video, so then people couldn't hear the ending of what we rated the song. Remember we said go to his channel to get the end of it.
Yeah. We said that people had to go to his channel. Yeah. They did. He had a...
but he deleted it, and now nobody can get it. They're like, wait, what was it?
I don't know why he did that. We don't watch other reactors' YouTube channels, but, shout out to Alex Heffner. Go like, share, comment, subscribe on his. What are you still doing here? Go to Alex Heffner's channel. But, we watched him religiously, the Underground Metal Elitist.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it'd be 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yep.
And we'd be watching this.
It was so weird. It was like our chill time. He was very entertaining.
He had the best reaction channel at the time.
There was always some random like cat walking by, or I was like, I swear his mom's gonna knock on that door any minute.
He had the best channel.
The stuff and it was so like, yeah.
It was just too much.
Shout out to Slipknot.
Shout out to it was
the
too,
Iowa record.
Yeah, it was just too much for him. But he was a great guy. Anyway.
Ben Webb style.
Anyway. No. Don't do that to Ben. Okay.
Oh man.
So Cattle Decapitation is they're very environmentally conscious.
They are, yeah.
Pretty sure they're vegan. And I think they're very, very much concerned with it's misanthropic to a degree. You know, this whole like I hate humanity, everybody should just die. Mm-hmm. But these guys are not. I don't really feel like it's typical misanthropy, humans are bad, blah, blah, blah. I think it's more almost in our prophetic genre of, hey, if we keep doing this, this is going to be the result.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're right. I mean, I feel like if I did not believe in, I'll say it this way, if I did not believe in God,
I'd be terrified about what we're doing to the planet.
I would terrified. I would have no hope whatsoever for this planet, and I would feel like it's over. We're all gonna, and like the last 30 seconds of that video, that's where we're going. Just because
that reminded me of Pompeii.
It's gonna be one of those. I just feel like with the planet stuff, they have an album called Humanure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
He does have an insane vocal range, this guy. Wow.
Yeah, so like I'm listening to this song, I'm looking at the visuals, and I'm like, this planet, if these climatologists are right, and we're in as bad a situation as they say we are, like it's not. It's gonna be one of those. To me, it's one of those. You know that thing in the Bible where Hezekiah, where the prophet shows up to Hezekiah and says, "You showed the Babylonians all your stuff, so now the Babylonians are gonna show up when you're dead. They're gonna show up. They're going to castrate your sons and lead them in chains to Babylon."
Right.
And the narrator said, well, externally, he said, well, the Lord's will be done. Or actually what he says is, it's the Lord, let him do what seems good in his eyes. I think that's
didn't he say when, like, he asked if it was going to happen in his lifetime, and he said, no, this is going to happen to your son.
No, he said, no, the prophet came and said, this is, your sons are going to be blah, blah, blah. And then his response that he gave was, it's the Lord, let him do what's right in his own eyes. which sounds very spiritual. But then the narrator says that Hezekiah...
Oh, right. It's the narrator.
The narrator squeals on him, who's God, says, but Hezekiah was saying in his heart, there will be peace in my time. So basically...
What a bad dad.
Hezekiah's like, hey, man, that's a really raw deal. You're, no junk for you. But hey, there'll be peace in my day, so let's have a party.
You think that's crazy, but I actually heard a grandfather say, like, look, I'm going to live my life this way. And if it affects my grandkids, well, it affects the grandkids.
But that's basically, when you're talking about the climate, like that's basically the mindset. I hate to say it.
Well, I'm just saying this person legit said it out.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to, of a lot of boomers who that's the generation that you're, like, I don't know how else to say it, but that's their mindset. They're like, man, we don't care about that shit, bro.
Yep.
I'm 75, nigga. You have to deal with that yourself, my guy. Like, I really feel like, and that's why, like, when the Corona thing hit, like, I'm trying to be very circumspect here, but when the Corona thing hit, and I'm like, it's affecting the people
who don't care
that did not want to give Medicare to other people.
I mean, it is bizarre how that landed.
Because the generation, right, that was covered by Medicare currently. Bernie was saying, how about we expand it for some young people?
Yeah.
And the boomer generation said, hell nah. We're going to keep it just like this. And then once you know it, Corona shows up. And who's most vulnerable? Is it the young people who could benefit from Medicare for all? Nope. It was that generation of people that said, fuck you, young people. Fuck your environment and fuck your health care. I'm sorry, but...
Oh, I know. I mean, it is pretty weird.
And then Corona hits, and it's that specific demographic that's taken most of the losses. Mm-hmm. Do with that what you will. Mm-hmm. Do with that what you will. Call it natural selection. Call it a very strange irony of history. Mm-hmm. But to me, that was massive. And the fact that there weren't more Christians that were putting that together is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's like, maybe there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason for a virus that discriminates by age. And look, I'm not saying that, like, because a bunch of young people died from Corona, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's very curious.
I mean, it is curious. You're not going to say it's not.
But, yeah, I mean, I had a conversation with a Christian buddy of mine. I wouldn't call him an activist. I mean, he calls me an activist, but like I was talking about how, like, look, man, all of these culture war issues are issues that we as Christians should be on the front lines about. Mm-hmm. So, like, mistreating women, like, we should have been at the front of the Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. The BLM stuff, Christians should have been at the front lines. This is the biggest blind spot in modern Western evangelicalism. It's the dismissal of the climate. We're in my mind, like I said, if what I'm reading is accurate, and I'm not a climatologist, I don't know. But if what I'm reading is accurate, we're in a climate emergency. Like, we're at DEFCON 4. Like, it is a bad situation. And the fact that Christians are not at the front line saying, hey, this is a planet that God gave us, and we are completely destroying it, and there are going to be consequences. The way of the transgressor is hard. Sin is its own punishment. Just throw the kitchen sink at it and say, hey, guys... And if you think about what's going on with the planet, a lot of it has to do with just plain human avarice and greed, which are these deadly sins.
Well, he said something about the love of money in the song.
Yeah, it's like one of the major deadly sins, and we keep doing it out of sight, out of mind, out of love for money.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm telling you, lyrically, forget it.
Oh, I know.
We casketed hope.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He did a really good.
Holy shit, this guy can write, bro. Mm-hmm. We casketed hope in bureaucracy, sunk to the bottom of the sea. Out of sight, out of mind, out of love for money. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Alas, the deed is done. Mankind is come and gone. Carbon-based life forms reset to day one. Fire now rages on. We thought we had enough time to redesign through human minds to do our time for this life of crime. Yeah, he got a little bit of hip-hop in his background, I could tell. I could tell. I want to talk to this guy because this guy is a bad man. We casketed hope and bureaucracy, sunk to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. It's like, you like, let's leave the politicians and the bureaucrats to figure it out. Let's have those guys figure it out. Let's not recycle and do it ourselves. Let's outsource all of our responsibility to take care of our home to the bureaucrats, and then let's blame them when things don't go well, because we're never going to take accountability for our own shit ever. We're always going to blame people. And then that chorus with that girl singing, bro. I didn't even know there was a girl in the band. That must have been a guest singer. Yeah. Are you?
I just thought it was a guy singing high.
Nah, that was a girl, bro. That's definitely a female singing that song. What, the chorus? There's no fear for tomorrow?
Where's the additional vocals? Right here.
Yeah, that's a girl. Laura Pranuiek. Prunanek. I don't know. I don't know what her name is, but she's a badass singer. So she, like, vocally, like, that was definitely very goosebumpy.
I loved that part. I just thought it was, some guys can hit very high vocals, so I thought that's what was happening. Yeah, but you can tell when a girl and a guy, can you go back to the lyrics? You can tell when a girl is singing, right, versus a guy. Well, obviously not, because I thought it was a guy.
It's true.
Wow, Vin. I'm trying to get back to these lyrics. I clicked on so many times. There we go.
There it is, right there. And then, of course, we deserve everything that's coming to us, which is very, very true. Which is, oh, look, so Neil is saying, no, that was Travis. No, it was not Travis, Neil. It was a woman by the name of Laura something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's talking about the entire album.
I
don't believe that. I think that was a guy. I need proof.
I'm not gonna argue about it. Okay, so what was the girl doing then? Because there's a girl on that track. So what was she doing
on the track? Oh, that's for the individual track.
That's for this song.
The whole album.
This is for this song.
Oh, well then.
So what was she doing? Was she playing like?
I don't know.
It says guest vocals.
Yeah.
It's obviously you're wrong.
It says
you're wrong, vocals, Neil. Yeah. You're wrong. It was a girl that did that. And she could sing. There's no fear for tomorrow when there's no trust for today. There's no ever after. Debts have to be paid.
Yeah, that was a crazy part. Debts have to be paid. Because obviously we always make everything kind of lean spiritual because we're Christians. So when it said debts have to be paid, it was like, obviously I thought of, debts have to be paid. In every sense of the word, debts have to be paid. And then when you think about Jesus and how he died on the cross to pay the debt.
Yeah.
That all men must pay, but he took it. It was just crazy. And then seeing that picture at the end, Death Atlas, this skeleton with, it looked like the Atlas thing with the world on him. And he's I thought,
holding the world.
It's a human skeleton, and human beings, I know this is not what he was trying to say, but this is what it meant to me. Human beings were never meant to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. That's for a being higher than us.
Yeah.
We have to do our part to take care of the planet and to take care of each other. But no single one of us can carry the weight of the world. We will die, the world will die. Nothing can survive in that.
Atlas. It's interesting in the picture too, because Atlas essentially becomes the Grim Reaper. Mm-hmm. Because he's got the little Grim Reaper thing there too.
Yeah.
So like it's a real.
He becomes death.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you leave humanity to itself, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get death and destruction, and obviously as a Christian, I agree with him categorically. Like, what's funny is this guy. It's like two pieces to a puzzle from groups that won't talk to each other. So this guy's saying, "Look at all this shit we did to the earth. Holy shit." There's gotta be some payment for that. Mm-hmm. Like, this was a horrible, terrible crime. Mm-hmm. There's gotta be atonement. There's gotta be, and the atonement is humanity dies, right? Like, you fall on the sword that you created.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, you've got Christians saying, yeah, sin is horrible and somebody had to die. It was Jesus. He paid the price. But they don't look at destroying the planet
as something that's
as a sin
yeah.
that people need to be redeemed from.
I mean,
they look at destroying the planet like I've never heard a sermon ever because we come up in we came up in conservative evangelicalism. Mm-hmm. There's not one sermon on planet care, climate care, whatever.
I never heard that.
Like, because it's so the people, the oil companies and all these other, companies that benefit from the destruction of our planet have done such a good job of politicizing an existential issue that's really
so
about
messed up.
It's really about survival and self-control. Not being a greedy bastard is really what this is about.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about survival and self-control. But they've turned it into a political issue that has all these other ramifications.
Yep.
Right?
And I think that sometimes it's looked at as like, it's almost like there's a whole group of people that are not taken seriously within Christendom. I'm talking about American Christianity. You know what I mean? Like,
there's multiple groups of people.
Right, but that is one of the groups. Like,
yes.
if you're conscious of the planet and stuff, that's not taken seriously.
Yeah.
They're not taken seriously.
It's
and
mind-boggling.
the thing is, like, I can see how somebody would be like, well, who cares about the trees or the planet and stuff like that? Like, I can see how people would say that, but when you see the effects that the planet has on animals, then it's like you see these animals suffering in the trash that we've thrown into the ocean and stuff. It's like, how can you see that and think that's okay? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it, but it's very interesting. Like, there are no Bible sermons preached about this stuff, and
yeah, you were the first person to show me stuff about that I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the things where, like, I was just reading, and then I ran into it because we're doing Revelation for like 7 years or something like that, and I saw that passage, and I'm like, holy moly, like that. I've never seen that passage before.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a very strange kind of situation where you're kind of like looking around at everybody and being like,
yeah,
this might be a problem for us.
Yeah. Right?
So like here it's on your TV now. Revelation 11:18. I'll just try to find a modern translation. The nations became enraged, and your wrath and indignation came, yada yada yada. And it says, the time that look right there, and the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them that destroy the earth. Mm-hmm. So, like, at the day of judgment, one of the reasons that God is going to judge people is because they destroy the earth. There it is again. Them that fear thy name, the small and the great, and to destroy them that destroy the earth. So,
that's a pretty crazy one.
One of the reasons that Jesus died on the cross was because we are destroyers of the earth.
Yep.
We destroyed. Our dad got us this great place, great house.
That's probably just an analogy.
Great stuff.
He didn't really mean that.
And then we just completely destroyed the earth. Well, if I gave the kids like this amazing and they completely trashed it, of course somebody's gonna have to pay for that, bro. Mm-hmm. Somebody's gonna have to pay that price. So it's crazy because cattle decapitation is right in the sense of like there needs to be payment for what we've done to the earth, and their solution is all of us have to die, right? On the other side, you have Christians saying, Jesus died for our sins, but then they don't think about one of our greatest sins, which is destroying the earth. Mm-hmm. So cattle decapitation is like, hey, guys.
Somebody has to pay for that.
Guys, somebody's got to pay for what we did to the planet. And then you got the Christians going, oh, the planet's not important. Who fucking cares? Oh, by the way, Mr. Cattle decapitation guy, you need to become a Christian. Why? Because, we've got an atonement. And he's like, yeah, but you don't care about destroying the planet, so why am I going to listen to what you have to say? Mm-hmm. Like, it's mind-boggling. Yeah. And you would figure, like, Isaac goes, time for me to sort some of my trash into the recycling. It's true. It's true. This way that God doesn't kill you. So, like, I'm sorry, man, but, like, it's one of those things. It's mind-boggling. I'm like, why are we behind on everything? Like, we're almost wrong on... The only topic we're right on is abortion.
And I feel like the majority of money that goes toward poor people, it comes from Christians. Is that not true?
I think we're pretty good as far as charity goes.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the social issue. Like, but the problem is people have a very hard time listening to our abortion stance. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. We don't want to kill this baby. Good. Killing children is never good. So I'm glad you don't want to kill a baby. But what you're saying is if the baby is poor and doesn't have health care, too bad for him or her. And then let's say the baby isn't poor, but let's have the child enter a world that's going to kill him or her by the time she's 40 because of, smoke inhalation, all the rest of it. Like, it's insane. It's unbelievable. It's like... So because we're not consistent in our pro-life ethic, when we come and start talking about abortions, people go, ridiculous. Because I just saw you a week ago and we were talking about this is possibly going to bring about an extinction level event, is what they call it. And you didn't care.
Right, exactly.
So if you don't care about destroying the planet that's going to destroy human beings, then I don't believe you when you say that you're not trying to control women's bodies, that you're just trying, that you just care about life. You must have a different motive with this abortion stuff, because every other pro-life issue, whether it's war, clean water, anything, you guys are always on the side of death. But now in this one issue, you're pro-life, and they call bullshit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and judge my brothers and sisters. Maybe there are some Christians, maybe there's 5 Christians on the planet who truly don't give a fuck about all this other stuff, but genuinely want to end abortion because they're worried about the preservation of life and they don't see the contradiction. But I tend to agree with them. And again, we've said it a trillion times, abortion is a grievous, terrible evil, and only the blood of Jesus can give us even a fighting chance. And I'm saying us because all of us have participated in the sin of abortion. If you're an American, because I'm a collectivist, I'm not an individualist, and neither are you. You tell me you're an individualist when you stop celebrating the 4th of July. So we're all collectively guilty for the abortion thing, but we're also collectively guilty for the hell that we've raised on the entire planet with our war machine. And on top of that, we're collectively guilty as Americans for helping to destroy the planet. And I understand that the Chinese and blah, 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 they're worse than we are. I don't care. I'm talking about what we're responsible for as Americans and the influence that we have over the whole world. If America got really serious about taking care of the climate issue, would China fall in lockstep? No, but the rest of the Western world would. I believe that. They would follow us. And that would offset the crazy ideology that the Chinese government has, which is probably going to take down this video, knowing them. But there's a lot of, this guy's touching on some real serious stuff, and he's doing it in a very articulate way, and his delivery was just righteous. Absolutely beautiful too. The way that he went about it, like I said, the Peter Steele part at the beginning and at the end and in the middle, the way that he can, I don't know, just the way that everything came together. This currently, and it's only April, but this currently is the song of the year for me right now. And even this line right here where he says, humans, demons, deranged and depraved. Yep. Holy moly. Yep. I pulled that one out too. And I was thinking, wow, that's so crazy how we have so much potential for evil as well as good. But when we put our hands to doing good, we do amazing things. And when we put our hands to doing evil, wow, it can be dark. Yeah. And then the line, we deserve everything that's coming. Like, again, that's true in one sense. Did the kid who inherited a jacked up planet, did he deserve it? Well, obviously not, but that's not what he's talking about. We shattered the hourglass. That is crazy. I mean, think about that. Like, that's a very poetic way of saying your time's up. Like, it's over. And then the last lines I think are extremely important. To be alive is to survive everything.
Squander everything.
To be
sorry.
to be alive is to
okay.
survive everything. To make do with anything until we die. To be alive is to squander everything, to stumble towards anything to feel alive. So it's this very interesting cycle. The first cycle is like, man, you're just trying to survive. So to living and survival are the same thing on this thing. Then the next stage is just make do with what you have until you die. So that's less dangerous than we're just out here trying to survive. Now it's like just make do. So you get a little bit more comfortable. Then it becomes to be alive is to squander everything. Right? And so like you can like trace like human progress where it's like, oh, it doesn't matter what narrative you hold to, whether it's Adam and Eve or you're caveman in the cave or whatever. Like first it's like, holy shit, there's a wildebeest, there's a lion. Ah! You're just trying to live through the day, right? And then once you figure it out, like, hey, if we build a city and we build a wall, then we're going to have a lot more morning time so the wildebeest and the lion won't eat us. And we can just chill here and make do for the winter. And then once we've mastered how to make do and live, then we sit and start fiddling around with technology, which we're supposed to do, right? Because be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. But that then becomes this avaricious sort of wasteful, to be alive is to squander, consumptive, and that's where Americans are. It's about squandering things, wasting things. Like we throw away, like I don't know how many millions of pounds of food we throw away. I had these friends that were street people, and like they would go dumpster dive. They were telling me like, look, man, they got really good sandwiches and stuff in there, blah blah blah. And people would come and like call the cops on them while they were dumpster diving. So it's like this, just like now that we're not worried about survival or making do. Hey, let's make this. You know, like, oh, you've got this coat. Well, if I killed 2 more minks, we could like, I mean, we initially just had the coat for survival, which I guess you could say is okay. But now it's, you're killing these animals extra because now it's a fashion statement. So you move from survival to aesthetics to squandering. Yeah. And then you end up in a situation like we're at right now. Yeah. And then the question is, how much is enough? And blah blah blah, and they were talking about making the animals our slaves and things like that. And obviously I don't completely agree with everything he's saying, because I don't think he would probably say there's an ontological difference between a cow and a human being. He would probably say that that's probably not true, right? He would probably say that a cow and a human are probably like equal in value. So I probably am not gonna go with him there, but I mean overall, man, it was just a very good song. And I like when people can say something without being preachy. And I didn't feel like they were being very preachy, even though they were absolutely preaching. And he was absolutely functioning in a prophetic role as far as like, you know, if you were to compare him in the Bible, it's kind of like Jonah type. 7 days and you're destroyed. You know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, I don't know. This is just one of those weird things, man, where every generation's going to keep playing hot potato. And then there's going to be one generation where, like, if God doesn't intervene, it's a wrap.
I thought that the shattered hourglass thing, where you said, you know, it's a poetic way of saying it's the end. To me, it was like, the hourglass tells you that it was going to end. Right. It was going to end naturally, because the hourglass tells you that time is going to run out. But you shattered it, and because you shattered it, you ended it prematurely. So that's what that meant to me.
Yeah. Really, really good song. What do you give it?
It's actually a 10 for me. Really good. I loved the sound of it. I couldn't have made any improvements.
This is an 11 for me.
You have to one-up me. Why?
Well,
tell me why.
This is required because our kids are they're pretty informed on the racial issues, obviously, foreign policy issues, abortion. Nobody's
good with recycling.
They're frontline warriors on the abortion thing. They've definitely earned their stripes. But this one is one that I think that it's just been a blind spot for us.
It's not a blind spot.
Us
for me.
Specifically.
I just don't.
Well, then you're worse.
I don't feel like I'm able to do that.
Well, I'm not even talking about blind spot as far as like acting on it, even though that's a big ethos in our family. I'm just talking about even the conversation. We've talked so much about the race issue. We've talked so much about abortion. We've talked about about a lot of issues. This is something we just never even talk about. You know, around the table when we're eating, it just never comes up.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. I think it's a blind spot for us. So
I should bring it up.
that's why.
It's on my mind a lot every time I use our paper plates.
You should bring it up. Like that's a very important topic that has been. I'm trying to become like a whole person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there are multiple issues happening at the same time, and this is one where
That's
like
interesting.
my friends, particularly my atheist left friends, like they're the ones that have really like brought that into the orbit of consciousness, right? Like, yo, this planet, bro, like what are you doing? So anyway, shout out to all my friends for that, and keep doing it, even if it sounds like a fool's errand, because it gets through to people. It takes people a while, but it does get through to people. So there you go.
Well, all right. 11 as well.
I hope they don't block this, man, because this is such an important thing. But we did the official video. Although, I don't think they blocked the last one that we did. I'm not sure. But anyway.
I think we blocked part of it. Because it was pretty rough.
Yeah. I remember you were... I was fucked up for like a week and a half, 2 weeks on that shit.
I mean, it didn't mess with me that much.
And you were not very
sympathetic toward it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I wasn't.
Yeah, like
when something fucks you up for like weeks like that, at that point I was like,
she was just she was just upset, because I remember you like leaning over like, this is not going to affect
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yes. Unbelievable.
Jim, I appreciate that, my guy. Your 5-finger death punch veterans video saved my life. Thank you.
Oh wow, that's
much
awesome.
love to the homie Jim. Yeah, guys, good song. Definitely a blind spot on the planet thing. Listen, Dieter, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, really impressed with your stance on the environment. Your willingness to call out Christians sometimes aren't consistent on certain issues. Much respect. I'm gonna say this to you guys. You guys need to hold me accountable to this climate stuff. I mean it, because every time I listen to a song about the environment, I'm like, yeah, like we've done like 2 or 3 on the channel. I'm like, yeah, we need to blah, blah,